Evening, everyone. This is Kajal, and I'll be presenting on the article which is recent developments in the Canadian economy, spring 2023. So, the Canadian economy saw a drastic slowdown in the second half of 2022 due to the rising borrowing costs. Then and so this will be the factors affecting economic conditions of Canada, such as business entry and housing investments, then government schemes meant for boosting economic conditions, personal income, wealth. These topics will be studied in detail in this presentation and paper. So I'll be dealing with economic activity and performance. Economic activity slowed down as we discussed earlier, and because of the rising borrowing costs. So consumers and enterprises had to adjust their spendings and savings to cope up with the changing economic scenario. Then business entry also was reduced because new businesses did not wanted to enter in due to the high financial costs, and they're cautious about jumping in because of the unstable economic scenario. Then investments in housing sector decreased. This is the major cause for the economic slowdown. This drop in is due to the fall in renovations, resale activity, and new building. Moreover, borrowers were refraining on housing related spending due to the higher financing prices. Household spending increased, and there was an increase in purchase of durables and vehicles. However, there was a fall in the purchase in food spending for seven quarters straight away. Then merchandise exports fell down. The exports for metal items such as machinery, equipments, energy products, motor vehicles, etc., fell down. However, the exports in service sector increased due to increase in number of tourists. Then non-residential buildings and machinery equipment related investment fell down. However, there was a rise in capital expenditure pertaining to IP products by companies. Then, despite the economic slowdown, the employment uh, had experienced growth. There was a net growth in employment due to private sector employing more people, and the increase was mostly in the full-time positions. And yeah, that's it from my side. Now I will uh, hand it over to my colleague.
Yes, hello everyone. I'll deal with the economic performance of Canada and output and business cycles and factors that have influenced it during the fourth quarter. So there was a noticeable change in the trend of Canada's real GDP. It flatlined after 5 consecutive years of expansion. So this led to a slowdown in the Canadian economy. Now I'd focus on various factors responsible for such an economic landscape. So first one is slower inventory buildup. Manufacturing and retail sectors were affected due to a slower accumulation of inventory. Then, as Kajal said, it's just housing investment declined, and business investments also declined after several quarters of expansion. And exports and imports, as far as exports and imports are considered, overall merchandise exports saw a decrease of 0.3 percentage. So this was due to lower shipments of metal products and energy and motor vehicles. In contrast to this, service exports grew by 2.9%, but the overall volume of exports remained below pre-COVID levels. So next is consumer spending. So household expenditures rose by 0.5%, while marginally exceeding pre-pandemic levels. But there is concern about the seven quarters of decline that it faced earlier. Improved supply chain conditions on consumer durables were responsible for this growth. And domestic demand was also a point. There was 0.3% increase in final domestic demand in the fourth quarter. So increased spending on consumer durables were helpful in this case, as Kajal told. So next slide, please.
Yes.
So here we can see the data of labor productivity. So labor productivity witnessed a decline for 9 consecutive quarters, but it fell only slightly below pre-COVID levels. However, there was a significant increase in unit labor cost, which is a concern for businesses. So to sum it up, I can see that the Canadian economy experienced lower growth and productivity issues in the latter part of 22, and it is evident from the data we have analyzed for this project. It
The
concludes.
change.
It includes changes in residential investment, corporate spending, export performance, etc. So these findings highlight the importance of closely monitoring the situation and making thoughtful plans for the next near future. So here is a slide for household incomes and wealth. So as you can see here, there was a 3% gain in the last quarter of 22. A savings rate of 6% indicates increased savings, and the household net worth, it rose by $181 billion in Q4. So that's it on my part. Thank you for your attention. Now I'll pass on the presentation to one of my teammates. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sharon. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are here to discuss two critical aspects of Canada's social and economic policies: enhancement in government benefits and a reduction of income inequality. These measures play a pivotal role in aiding Canadians in need and creating a fairer, more equitable society. Let's talk about some points. Enhancement in government benefits. Let's start by examining the measure taken to aid Canadians in need through enhancement in government benefits. Old age security is a key program for senior in Canada. To better support our elderly citizens, the government has increased the OAS benefits, allowing seniors to enjoy a more comfortable retirement. Then there is a income inequality. Now let's shift our focus to issue of income inequality. Canada has made significant strides in reducing wage disparity. Policies aimed at increasing the minimum wage and promoting fair employment practices have led to a decrease in income inequality. Next is financial market and productivity. Let's start our business labor productivity. Business labor productivity measures the efficiency of labor in producing goods and services. There is a unit labor cost. Unit labor costs represent the labor cost required to produce one unit of output. A significant increase can signal challenges of business. Then there is output growth. Output growth refers to increase in production or economic activity over time. So this is my end of my part. So I hand over to slide to my next colleague. So please, thank you guys.
Hello everyone. My topic is consumer price inflation. There are some consumer price inflation. First is consumer inflation describes the rate it is slowing to 6.3% at the end of the year 2022. The another is food price inflation. Price hikes in the double digits. Canadians now pay considerably more for food items. The end of the last one is shelter cost. Property expenses have dropped in recent months as the property market has cooled off, but they are still rather high compared to historical norms. But homeowners are feeling the effects of these costs increasing due to increased mortgage gauges interest rates. Next slide, please.
Sure.
A recommendation for summary report. There are some reports. The first is diversify investment. Spread investments to reduce risk due to slowing housing market and economic uncertainty. The another one is monitor labor productivity. It focus on improving efficiency and output as labor productivity falls. Investment in worker education and tech. Third one is assesses household budgets, review finances due to declining food spending, balance mandatory and optional expenses, stay informed on government benefits. Be aware of government policy changes that impact budgets. The other one is evaluate housing decisions. Consider mortgage rates and market volatility before buying or selling property. Consider income inequality. Address rising income inequality for a more just and stable economy. Engage in risk management. Implement risk management measures to survive economic swings. Now, Raman will end this presentation over here. Raman.
Thank you, Simran. In order to recapitulate this presentation, I would like to say that the report stresses the value of data driven decision making for organization, household, and government officials. The stakeholders can make their way through this shifting train and contribute to the Canadian economy sustained stability and progress by being flexible and making use of the tool of their disposal. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.